So on the last video we stopped here. We're going to move on now to a mix. So right here we have a mix of questions. We have to be able to identify which of the four methods we learned before we're going to apply. So I look at this mix of questions. So this one's 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. Here we got x squared minus 9x plus 18 and 10x squared minus 9x plus 2 and then 9x squared minus 49. Oh, I like this one. It only has two items. Easy to identify. It's a difference of squares. Oh, 9. 3 times 3 is 9. 49. 7 times 7 is 9. I'm going to use the difference of squares here. So I would do this one first. So let's take a look. First, square root of 9. 3x, square root of 9x squared. I'm going to put a plus here. Square root of 49. 7 times 7. 7. I'm going to write the exact same thing, 3x minus 7, and I've got that one done. Now I keep looking at these, and I'm like, oh, this is a sum and product. There's no number. These two have numbers in the front. There's no number in the front. Okay, so I got to find two numbers that multiply to give me 18 and add to give me negative 9. And I'm like, negative. How could I get a negative here and a positive there? Oh, they have to be two negative numbers. So let's see, negative 1 times negative 18. No, negative 2, okay, times, let's see, negative 2 times, this is a tricky one, negative 2 times negative 9. No, how about negative 3 times negative 6? Oh, there they are. So negative 3 times negative 6 is 18. Negative 3 plus negative 6 is negative 9. Okay, I'm going to have to use maybe decomposition. I don't want to. Oh, wait a second. This is 4x squared. That's a perfect square. Oh, 9. It's a perfect square. So let's take a look. We can square root that. 2x. So square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 9 is 3. And then over here we have the squared. Perfect. So let's see if it works. 2 times 3 is 6 times 2 is 12. Great. I guess this last one is the decomposition one. So I take this number, multiply by that number, and I get minus 20. And I have to find two numbers that multiply to give me negative 20, add to give me negative 9. So let's try 1, negative 20. Definitely not. Okay, 2, negative 10. 2 and negative 10. Oh, that doesn't work. Let's see, 2 times negative 10. No, that's it. Oh, this is a positive 20, so it has to be both negative numbers to get me negative 9. That doesn't work. Let's try another one. Negative 4 and negative 5. So I knew negative 3 wouldn't work. Negative 4 times negative 5 is 20. Negative 4 plus negative 5 is negative 9. So let's break it up into those two numbers. Those are the ones that work. They add to negative 9. Okay, common factor the first two. So I common factor this, 5 goes into both those. Then I common factor that, a negative 2. So I take the 5 out of this, divide that by 5, divide that by 5. Now I take a negative 2 out, divide that by 2 and that by 2. If it's a negative in the front, you take a negative out. This becomes exactly the same as that. Put it in the front. Then you got 5x minus 2 left. So that's how you do those. I want you to pause the video. And for question 7, I want you to do these 4. See if you can do them as quickly as I did there. So pause the video, and when you've got them all, or if you're not sure how to do them, start. Okay, so I look at these 4, okay, and I notice, oh, there's a difference of squares. There's 36 and 25. Square root of 36 is 6x. Square root of 25 is 5. I knew that was a difference of squares. Two terms and a minus sign. Two things and a minus sign. Write the same thing again with a minus. Okay. Next, oh, sum and product. I need to find two numbers that multiply to give me negative 27 and add to give me 6. Well, after doing a little tree, the two numbers are 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. 9 plus negative 3 is 6. One of these is probably not decomposition. I'm going to give 2, would I? No, so this one's not. So this is 9. 49, you can take the square root of 9. 3x. Sign of the middle. Minus square root of 49. 7. Add the squared. This is our decomposition. 6 times 2. Okay, 6 times 2 is 12. Then I have to find two numbers. So 3 and 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 plus 4 is 7. So I break it up into those two numbers. 3x squared plus 4x. I cover up the second one, and then into these two, a 3 goes into there. And into those, a 2 goes into there. So every time on this one, I take an x as well. I take a 3x, and I divide those by that. Divide that by 2, and this becomes the same. So then I put it in the front, and I get 3x plus 2. Okay, what happens with multiple letters? So let's take a look. So this one here is a sum and product. If you didn't notice, there's a 1 in the front and an 8 there. It's a sum and product. So we have to find two numbers that multiply to give you 8, okay, and add to give you -6. So two numbers, -2 times -4 is 8. So we're going to put those numbers in. So here we go. X minus 4. Here's what you do. You add a y to that to make this one work. And then the second one, x minus 2, and you add a y. And then if you have the x squared and the y squared in this pattern, you put a y here and a y there. You can always expand and check if I'm right. So again, with this pattern, you put the extra letter there. So here, oh, this is a perfect square. So I can square root that. It's 2x. I can square root the y. Minus y. Take the sign in the middle. And you get 2x minus y squared. So again, the only difference, instead of putting a 1 here, you put a y. Instead of putting a 2 here, you put a 2y and a 4y. So what I want you to do is I want you to do these 4. Now it's all the different kinds. I want you to do these 4 on your piece of paper. Okay, it's the different types there. So pause it and try it, and then I will do them. Okay. Okay, now I look at these 4. Hopefully you've done them and paused it. So I look at these 4, and I'm going to start with this one. Why? Because I know it's a difference of square. There's a minus. So I take the square root of that, and it's 2x. I take the square root of 25. It's 5, but I have to add the y. Then I write the same thing again, and it's 2x minus 5y. Okay, I look at this one. This is a sum and product. You got to figure out what two numbers multiply to give you 12 and add to give you 8. Well, the two numbers are 6 and 2. So 6 times 2 is 12, and 6 plus 2 is 8. Now I'm trying to figure out which of these is the perfect square. Oh, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16. 3x squared. Now I purposely made these boxes the same so it looked like they had the equal amount of work, but this one has a lot less. There's 3x, square root of, there's the plus in the middle, square root of that's 4y, and it's 3x plus 4y squared. So in this case, you got to include the y. And the final one's decomposition. You go 2 times -12, so you get -24. And then you have to find your two numbers that multiply to give you -24 and add to give you -5. So -8, so -8 and +3. So you break it up into those, -8xy plus 3xy. Now this is a little bit harder. You got to take a 2x out of the first one. So look, out of the first one, you take a 2x. Out of the second one, you take a 3y. And these become the same. So this one's a little harder. So here you take a 3y out, not just a 3. And then that becomes the same as that. And finally, you put the x minus 4y first and the 2x plus 3y second. Okay, now we'll go into our last kind. So our last type over here. Okay, so we got our last kind over here. For some reason, I skipped a page. We've got different exponents. So if you notice here, 6, 3, and no number. Here, 4, 2, and no number. So you can still factor these, and I'll put a little carpet here. Okay, you can still factor these even if they have a different exponent. So as long as this one is half of that one. Okay, so long as a 6 is half of the 3 is half of the 6. Or the 6 is double the 3. So this is a sum and product. So if you find two numbers that multiply to give you -8 and add to give you -2, so the two numbers here are -4, -2. So -4 times 2 is 8, and -4 plus 2 is -2. The difference here is you use this number here. You use the x cubed here, and you use the x cubed here. Okay, so in this one, we're going to use the x squared. Now this is a perfect square. So it's 4x to the 4 plus 2x squared plus 25. 2 times 2 is 4, and 5 times 5 is 25. So here you got 2x squared, okay, plus 5, and then you put the squared at the end. Okay, so here we go. We got 2x squared plus 5. You can check 2 times 5 is 10, times 2 is 20. It works. Okay, I would like you to do these last two, so I'll just cover them up. I want you to do these two. Okay, pause it, try these two out. Okay, just you can pause and try that out, see if you get the right answer. Okay, hopefully you've done it. So this here is a sum and product. You have to find two numbers that multiply to give you 6, but add to give you 5. Well, the two numbers are 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, and 3 plus 2 is 5. The only difference is you put that x squared here and the x squared there. Okay, this last one's a bit of a trick because it's a difference of squares. So most people get to here, they get, oh yeah, square root of x to the 4th is x squared and x squared. Square root of 81 is 9 and 9, and they put a plus minus in between. But look at this. Over here, you have another difference of squares. So you can do it again. You can square root, you put x plus 3 there, and square root that, and you get x minus 3. So you can do one extra step. Okay, what I would like you now is to do the last page. So do the last page on your own. Then I'd like you to take pictures of it. So take pictures each page, so one page at a time. Take 3 pictures, and then attach it and put it into the folder.